Hello everyone. Today I'm coming up with a video of thulium yak laser enucleation of the prostate gland of a 70-year-old male, prostate size 73 gram. Patient was on recurrent urinary retention, failed boiling trial, and serum PSA is within normal limit, and we took up the case for thulium YAG enucleation of the prostate, that is ThuLEP. After initial cystoscopy, patient on lithotomy position under spinal anesthesia, and you can see that there are bilobar enlargement. Both the lobes are kissing in the midline, and if you see inside the bladder, you can see both the uretary orifices and evidence of bladder trabeculation and circulations. And initial transverse incision we are putting just proximal to verumontanum, and then at just 5 millimeter to 1 centimeter proximal at 12 o'clock position. Somebody prefers to put the incision at 5 and 7 o'clock while doing a trilobar enucleation of the prostate, but putting a transverse incision just proximal to the verumontanum helps, so that we do not overshoot while putting the 7 and 5 o'clock incision. Now, as you can see that I am joining both the marking incision proximal to verumontanum and at 12 o'clock position bilaterally. Here, as you can see, just for putting the marking proximal to verumontanum and at 12 o'clock position, I used continuous mode of the thulium yak laser at 150 watt, but after that, just for academic purpose, because I do not do enucleation nowadays with thulium yak in continuous mode. Whenever I do in pulse mode. This machine, though it is thulium yak is a continuous wave laser, it has some property, and you can also, the machine has the property that you can also use the pulse mode. So while doing enucleation in pulse mode, you do not get much charring, which earlier we used to get in thulium yak laser enucleation. Now you can see that I'm making the incision at 6 o'clock. So I'm planning for a 2-lobar enucleation of the prostate because the median lobe was not big. So accordingly, you can choose to go for a bilobar, trilobar, or unilobar enucleation with increase in experience of laser enucleation of prostate. After the proper deepening of the incision at 6 o'clock, as you can see, I am gradually enucleating the left lateral lobe. Here, as we have already marked the incision all around, and the distal limit we know for the apical lobe, and then you can see that I am enucleating, and my limit of enucleation laterally will be up to 3 o'clock from below. Then I will come from above. As you can see now that my 6 o'clock incision is guiding me all the time. When you do enucleation, you can come back to the midline to get a proper orientation and to see the enucleation plan if you were sometimes lost to the enucleation plan. And you can see that I am gradually enucleating, and with minimum stretching with the beak of assembly of the resectoscope, you stress the fine attachment between the adenoma and the capsule, and then you can use the laser fiber to cut the attachment, and you can see that the left lateral lobe is almost free, and we are just taking down the attachment at 12 o'clock to completely free the left lateral lobe. So this incision you can deepen at 12 o'clock, as you know, to how much depth you need to go, because you have already enucleated the lobe from 6 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and from above from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And this is one of the critical point to meet both the enucleation plan from above and below. And the trick to overcome that problem is you come as distal as possible at the level of apex, and then you see both the enucleation plan and then join near the apex, and then you go proximally from there. So now we are coming down to the right lateral lobe. As you can see, that fine attachment and the glistening capsule you can see. So how to differentiate between the capsule and the adenoma? The adenoma looks fluffy kind of yellowish tissue, irregular yellowish tissue, which is kind of fluffy, and the capsule is white glistening structure, which is smooth. And now you can see that we are gradually enucleating it from the apex towards the bladder neck at the floor. So as it is a very high power laser, it works wonders while taking out the attachment from the capsule and between the adenoma and the capsule. As you can see that it is a very beautiful laser to cut and to coagulate. It cuts and coagulates at the same time. So unlike holmium enucleation, which is a splitting kind of laser and it splits the tissue and may lead to some kind of bleeding, and sometimes you may lose the enucleation plan very easily. But here, as it is a very good cutting and hemostatic laser, you all the time get a very good picture because you do not encounter much bleeding at any point of the enucleation. So here you can see that we have enucleated the right lateral lobe from 12 o'clock at the apex up to 9 o'clock, and then now you can see that I am detaching the adenoma from the capsule towards the 11 to 12 o'clock now. So it is near the bladder neck that we are taking down the attachment near the bladder neck. If you do this dissection first, then it helps because the weight of the adenoma then helps to make out the enucleation plan, because the adenoma will fall medially, and as one lobe is already enucleated, so it is easier for this adenoma to get some space so that you get the enucleation plan very easily. As you can see that we have completely enucleated the right lateral lobe. Fine attachment was there that we detached, and after that we take a round along the enucleated capsule all around the fossa, all around. Here you can see that some bladder neck, which is so beautifully seen in anatomical endoscopic enucleation by laser or any other technique, which is not at all possible in conventional technique. Here we have made an incision at 6 o'clock, and those small perforating vessels which goes from the adenoma to the capsule may sometimes bleed, and you can coagulate it with the laser fiber very efficiently and very easily. So this helps. You can spend 5 to 10 minutes of time, maximum 10 minutes time, to completely stop the bleeding, so that it helps you while doing the morcellation. Here we are using rotating toted type of morcellator, which is the best piranha type of morcellator, which seems to be the best morcellator among all the three available in the market, because the speed also good, and at the same time the safety profile is very good. Thank you.